to enter the church, the statues that flank its heavy oaken doors address you.
Hold your horses, stranger. This holy hall may be entered by those who are loyal to the goddess only. And even eyes of stone can see you are no such creature. It is a wish we cannot grant unless you prove you have knowledge of the goddess. How is she known among the loyal? The exalted one. She who speaks for the goddess. Before such piety, we cannot remain as stern as the stone we are shaped from. Go! You may enter the church. The loyals are lucky to count you among their number.
Ah, Source Hunter. Have you come to lend your blood to our cause? How much simpler all this would be if only it was so. Still, I cannot blame you for struggling against me. What reason have you to trust me that your efforts are misplaced? But now, with Brachus Rex nearly risen, there's little more you can do to hinder me. Perhaps for the better. When we first met on the beaches of Sicil, I underestimated you. That blunder has cost me dearly. Still, after all, you need not know more than this. The end is coming. The end of sorrow. The end of pain. Those who oppose me oppose peace itself. And here I thought you'd seen it yourself. Tell me, what is the imp historian doing, if not begging you to divert the void? So, you're familiar after all. You know as well as I that the void is coming. In fact, if I'm very precise, it's already here. But you need not be afraid. The void is ourselves. We are destined to rejoin it. I have chosen a dark and dangerous path, but I vow that those sacrificed have not suffered in vain. My only wish for all of Rivellon is the soft hush of silence. Brachus Rex was the forefather of our cause, the original Immaculate. His resurrection brings Rivellon one step closer to the ultimate solution: dissolution. Wouldn't you like to meet him? The sorcerer your order was formed to destroy. I'm certain he'd love nothing more than to meet you. Follow me. Find out.
You look, but you cannot see.
Evil fails me. Seven, aid me. Face the unending darkness. Now you know the reach of my power.
Bad news travels fast. Eternal silence awaits you.
What's that gleam?
A stitch in time, eh, friends? A hidden switch. Perhaps it has something to do with opening that hatch. A switch much like the first. Could there be more? Three down, but how many to go? Got my eyes on the prize. What was that? I heard the sound of scraping in the main hall. Strange magic here. How will we deactivate it?
That cultist must have used some kind of key or spell to get through.
The immaculate amulet fits perfectly inside.
Malia. Precious Malia. I'm a fool. Please. You must stop him. Source Hunter. Ha. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. But gods, what a herald of death I've become. I'm beyond redemption now. But you alone may save Sicil, may save all of Rivellon from the horror I've summoned. King Brachus. Brachus Rex from the tales of old. He lives. The mad Source King, the Lord of Chaos. I have awakened him. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Brachus was a dangerous monster, but he achieved things no man or mortal could have dreamt of. He alone is said to have known a great secret, how to break the Forge of Souls. I promised to extract this secret for a woman calling herself the Conduit. In exchange, she vowed to reveal to me a certain power of her own. In hindsight, I see that I dealt with the devil, and I've received my damnation. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Curse her name, her hell-sent promises. She claims to be a link between her goddess and the world of men. I never believed her divine claims, but I could not deny her great power. It was she who showed me that Bloodstone could be used for more than healing. Her stones, particularly powerful and potent, could raise the dead. What could turn any soft soul towards wickedness? My weakness was love, and it was love that she promised me. The Conduit had shown me how to raise skeletons and zombies from their graves. But what I craved was something far more rare. A second life. A true second life for my wife, Malia. She was a beautiful soul, snatched from the world of the living far before her time. Now the Conduit's promise seemed simple. A secret for a secret. I'd tell her how to break the Soul Forge, and she'd tell me how to bring Malia back. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Resurrected, revived. The king lives, but not as the man he once was. He retains the mark of death upon him, like a festering wound. Brachus was a dangerous monster, but he achieved things no man or mortal could have dreamt of. He alone is said to have known a great secret, how to break the Forge of Souls. I promised to extract this secret for a woman calling herself... I was given a great stone, a bloodstone, but more charged with life than any I'd seen before. The Conduit said it would imbue Brachus with life enough to share the secret she craved. But what he has become, his powers have all returned, and I cannot stop him. my failures. My failures are so many, I can hide them no longer. In my pursuit of the Source King, I've called forth abominations that neither I nor any other can destroy. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, the Baron of Bones, the twins by fire joined. Their ghastly faces haunt me, and they in turn have rifled through the graves and sarcophagi of Sicile in search of undead minions. Undead, Source Hunter, unkillable. I fear this plague may never end, no matter how many times the rotten dead are defeated. I've done a terrible thing. I've raised a mad king from beyond the grave. I imagined so very foolishly that I'd be able to extract an ancient secret from him. But with a simple flash of his arcane magic, I was finished. You can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can save the countless innocents that will perish under the Source King's mad fist. I pray... No, I believe you can reverse my failures.
So, Celeron believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrecting his beloved wife.
Only a true devil would cause such destruction for a bit of fancy necromancy.
A devil? I'd wager many in Celeron's position would do the same.
One who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign of the Source ascend again. Or perhaps you are the first in a long new line, the first that will try to stop my dominion again. Oh, by the emerald eyes of the goddess, would you believe that I can still feel it ever so vaguely? The force of the stab that cleft my heart and sent my soul shivering into death. But my followers have done it. They have done it like I knew they would. Blood, the thick red gravy, the source of souls, has been yielded unto star-sent stones and has swept away the eternal shadows. How long has it been, I wonder, my first repose in death? An hour? The time it takes the seas to tear down cliffs. It is of no matter. I live, and I shall claim my throne anew. The reason for my resurrection, O simplest of spirits, is that I was destined to be. Were it not for the vainglorious fools that raised me now, it would have been another, perhaps wiser being that would have done so in time. And time is of no matter, only to be. Eternally, a woman seeks my secret. For her soul is entwined with another's, yes. Where once they were inseparable, now they have grown apart in purpose and intent. But my secrets are mine to keep. Perhaps when she lies shivering before me, pledging alliance to the king, I will break her forge before I break her. Ha! Not a thing. There was a woman once that went by that name, until I mangled her body into that of a leaf. Oh, my sister dearest, Cassandra, and her man cat, mere pets of mine, the
tools to bruise and break as I saw fit. They bled so very beautifully. A source hunter. So you are. Though you are so much more, and do not even know it. No matter. They still smell like you do, by the by. Your brother and sister hunters, as they closed in around me that first time. Fear. That most sly, most intangible of sense. Drowned out soon afterward by the acid stench of urine. I had but to look at them, and they rusted their chainmail where they stood. I undid so manifold I had to wade through the gore of the fallen. Oh, what a feast, what fountains of gravy we had. Alas, that there were too many, as there clearly are too many of you still. Although, life renewed has made me rather peckish. And from the looks of you, you need but the slightest of squeezes to make squirt the sauce's sauce from your soft, fleshy shell. Yes, look at you. Plump as a leech bulging with freshly sucked blood. Oh, I do believe, as my servants would say as they brought in a squirming, plump girl on a plate, that dinner is served.
Confound it!
No foe can stand before me. Breaking bones?
Stay your
you cannot see. I'm sorry. I cannot do this anymore. How could that happen?
Draining you to the last drop.
I run, they fall. I like this game.
These flames bite deep!
Pathetic!
You were right there.
Missed! Seven stabbed to the very heart of my enemy.
I'll grind you into a fine dust. No foe can stand before me. I strike with the full force of my convictions.
That is the final end of Brachus Rex.
May his soul fortune. Treasure! gods leech this evil from my blood.
Source Hunter, is it safe? Have you done it? Please tell me that you have sent Brachus Rex to the grave once and for all. Magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like a prisoner set free, free to bask in the daylight once more. I was so fearful, petrified almost in the knowledge that I might see him again. You see, I knew the Mad King. In fact, I served him. I'm a wizard hunter, and that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. They weren't always happy ones, and you may take that as an understatement. I was once under Brachus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude, torture, and humiliation. Only after the first source hunters skewered him like the pig he was did my nightmare end. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. That I'd be cast back into the rank pit that was my past. But he hasn't, and he never will. Thank you. I will never forget this act of valor. So you have heard of her? Yes, I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. The very opposite of her deranged brother, who did not hesitate to butcher her for his own benefit. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than friends. Until he took her down to the dungeons, and she returned a woman no longer. A twisted lich had she become, with a twisted mind to match her grisly new shape. He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, he would die. And so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Brachus Rex. Immortal in his mind and immortal to be in effect. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world's everlasting contentment, his deranged fancy was not to be. I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Brachus's castle, I sought only to escape. I never heard of her again. Yes, I longed for freedom, for release. When I saw my chance, I ran and never looked back. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But I highly doubt you forestalled her endgame, whatever that may be. It is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that was Jake and Evelyn, the White Witch is somehow involved. I will vouch for her gentle nature, but alas, I cannot vouch for her current state of mind. Has she been corrupted by her sister, perhaps? Or have they become enemies locked in a murderous game of cat and mouse? What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lacula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travels should take you next. Very well, Hunter. My...
no harm.
Aha! The Starstone Seekers return. Most fortuitous indeed, for I have been pondering over the nature of our shelter plane like a poet over his muse. For now, I will refrain from entertaining, or, as the case may be, annoying you with hapless conjectures until in the maze that is my mind, I happen to stumble upon a clue more concrete than mere theory. In the meantime, and in the interest of saving time, please tell me your thoughts about the lady you talked to in the Hall of Heroes during your previous visit. Deceive. Desert. Your words, they ring a distant bell, but they are but pieces of the puzzle. And yet, could she be? But no, hold your chattering tongue, Zixat. You promised you wouldn't hazard any guesses, and you'll stick to your word. You have my thanks, friends, for indulging me. A new portal has opened, and no doubt you are as curious as I am to find out what lies beyond. Let's go and take a look.
This place looks rather cozy, doesn't it?
It does.
By the fangs of the void, it is true. She told me she had seen you. Yet never would I have believed her delusions until here, now. They manifest before me. You have become undeniable. The scurrilous sentinels themselves. It is miraculous, irrefutably so. But oh, how low you have fallen. Look at what you have become. What were stars have become moribund embers. You are to be pitied.
That demon.
And none too friendly either.
This chest, I know it to be mine. But how? am I doing? This isn't my chest, and I know it.
To see you on the shelter plane. Most certainly. Like you, she is a mystery. But she seems to know you, doesn't she? Perhaps you'll meet her again and we'll learn more about her and about you. So you have the inner chamber. The tapestry has shown me that these were the personal quarters of the gods chosen two. They lived lives of opulent luxury. A well-deserved return for services rendered against the onslaught of demons and dark champions of the void. They are yours now, the chosen two anew.
Where is my pepper? Did it sprout legs and... there it is.
Potent heat.
Recruits, that was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
You, again. Do feel free. If you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming. And it takes all the sword arms and all of our Who's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. Were that I could break their backs once and for all. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. You'll be seeing flying carpets next. What'd you take me for? An ignoramus? That accursed name rings a god's damn Carillion. He was the last sorcerer king, a frightful warrior that fell dozens before finally being slain by the army that had risen against him. We may well stand on unholy ground right now, for they say his remains were buried in what is now Sicily, the Mad King from Mad City. So, let me get this by Belag. Anyway, be these truths half-truths.
How can I help you, my friend? By all means. I can't say much more, but that they're madmen. All the more dangerous to us because of their alliance with what should be a natural enemy. You won't see me teaming up with a terrier in a hurry.
What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine.
What a delight she is.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Still thinking about exploring the beach? From the look of you, you're more than ready. I certainly hope you know what...
The Sicilians retreated from this battle, but what about the orcs?
Either they've taken to the sea or set up an encampment in yonder caves. Keep your weapon at the ready.
Away with your weapons! Away! In our hometown, we honour the dead by decorating their graves with whatever materials we have. In this case, it's wood. They look rather fetching, don't they? I'll keep you proud. I don't want to fight. I ain't after no fancy stone. I just want to bury these bodies the traditional way. It's the least I could do for my dear brother, Oggy. Oh, he was such a dear lad, he was. We wanted to see the world, but we saw next to nothing before he was called to serve the All-Mother in the afterlife. In our village, oh, poor Oggy will never see her again. But tradition goes that a warrior should be buried with his best armor so he can defend himself in the afterlife. There weren't so many spoiled after the battle, but I managed to give old Oggy the best set. A proud send-off for a proud soldier.
This orc is obviously bereft. We may risk missing out on that armor set, but we've got to leave him be.
Agreed. Robbing the dead is bad enough, but to do it while a mourner looks on is simply vile.
Don't think I didn't see that twinkle in your eye when I spoke of the armor, small bones. But I thank you for leaving my brother to rest in peace.
To accidentally disturb any graves.
We made a promise to an orc, after all.
Well, what's this I've spotted? What's this? I found something. These footprints are enormous.
Watch out. Orcs that large think with their clubs, not their heads.
eh? Never rains, but it pours, eh? No glory in this death.
My true skills lead to your false steps.
This is the end for you!
The unending darkness.
Why don't I feel more relieved to see so many dead orcs?
Because whatever killed them could be around any corner. And we've no idea whether to expect a friend or foe. Hang on to your socks. That's the biggest static cloud I've ever seen.
There's got to be a way to cover up the source.
Bloody claws. Huge claws. Cursed pirates.
Let the bloodstones forever dry bones.
Every last rotten tooth from your skull, blood!
May the gods curse the mother that bred thee! Come, greenskin, don't you long for sweet release? I'll slit thee from toe to horn and wear thee like a suit. Come, greenskin, don't you long for sweet release? I bet that horn would make a pretty ornament for this tomb.
Tread silently. Strike viciously. The living versus the dead. Yet these orcs will find no ally in me.
You can't protect the bloodstone forever, dry bones.
You can't protect the bloodstone forever, dry bones!
I'll slit thee from toe to horn and wear thee like a suit. Come, greenskin, don't you long for sweet release? I'll slit thee from toe to horn and wear thee like a suit. May the gods curse the mother that bred thee!
Who's laughing now?
Crack your sooty skulls like
You can't protect the bloodstone forever, dry bones! I'll pull every last rotten tooth from your skull!
I bet that horn would make a pretty ornament for this tomb.
no glory in this death.
This is the end for you!
Time for some fancy footwork!
Your act jolt heart. I can reach farther than you think. So the Orc expedition is no more. But who's to say how many undead haunt this cave?
By the ferocity with which they fight, I'd guess they're protecting something of great value.
Careful now, that's a trap. My gods, what is that abomination?
Well, when a crab and a man love each other very much.
Exhaustion overcomes me.
Hidden between darkness and light.
Assaults from the air!
Who's laughing now?
Feeling trapped.
I need to dry off.
A man-at-arms is always intense. Sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Biligar! I will give you tons of scars! My tricks are known throughout the land. My rhymes rhyme nicely. Understand? Biligar! Ha-ha! You wish to know of me? I am the best, can't you see? Such tricks, such rhyming. The biggest fan of the tricking, rhyming, best Beligar man. Sad sap, you stepped into my trap. If you move, this room explodes. You'll have to stay till you wither away. Your only hope's a secret button, but since moving will kill you, you can't do nothing. Is the button red? Blue? Orange? Will you find it? Will you... storange? Florange? Yeah, whatever. I am Biligar! Ha 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 ha! Don't forget, if you move from that spot, things around here will get mighty hot! Ha ha! Too bad you can't find my secret switch without moving from... where you're standing.